and get my apps and get my music turned off. Okay, and off. There we go here. And this, that, and everything, and people as they keep on coming in. All right. So, make sure my thing's on here, share my screen. Here we go. Well, thank you so much for coming today. My name is Alan Fine, and this is how to attract high quality clients from LinkedIn. Almost the end of the year. Can't believe it's September already, almost October. My God, Halloween costumes and Halloween places everywhere out there. Um, okay, so first thing is, if you're not my connection on LinkedIn, please send me a connection request. And here is my LinkedIn profile URL. I'm usually out on my side, so if you can send me a connection request, would be great. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to close my office door here. One of the joys of working out of your home office, which I love doing. I love that we can do that. And it's so funny when COVID hit, people were like panicking. And my family, where I've been doing remote stuff for like, probably 5, 6 years beforehand, and my family was homeschooled my kids, so it's like, oh, okay, this is nothing new at all. But a lot of people had a challenge with it. So, um, all right. So the first thing is we've all been on webinars and presentations where no one does nothing at all. No one says yes in the comment box. No one unmutes themselves. No one does anything at all. And good God, is that painful to watch people do that. So today, let's participate, communicate, have fun. And if you stay to the very end, I'll be sending you some great post-webinar special gifts. Maybe I should spell special right here. Be great if I did. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, come on. There it goes. And yeah, so do me a favor in the chat box. We're all willing to participate. Put a Y in the chat box. I will wait till everybody does that. Just put a Y in the chat box, please, because I don't want to sitting here twiddling my thumbs, doing all this work for you guys, and no one saying, put a Y. That's funny, Connie. Why? Just because. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's going to go so much better today. I want to have fun. I'll be answering everybody's questions at the very end also. So please write your questions down. Don't stick them in the chat box in the middle there. Wait, stay to the very, very end, and I'll be happy to answer. And I'll stay as long as you want me to help you guys out and answer any specific questions from the presentation or questions you have about LinkedIn at the very end. Thank you so much. So, uh, once again, in the chat box, if you can do me a favor, if LinkedIn a little bit confusing for you, and if it's not confusing at all, if you got LinkedIn nailed down and want to see where we are, what kind of skill level you guys have, if you think LinkedIn can be challenging, put a Y in the chat box. If you got LinkedIn pat down, put an N in the chat box. So do me a favor, just quickly, everybody put a Y in the chat box, please. Thank you so much. No, 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 not confusing at all. Great. Well, a couple of people got LinkedIn. Okay, most people I find is confusing because LinkedIn is really, really, really terrible at putting out um, their own information. Like you go to do something on LinkedIn and you try to figure out how to do it, and you go on Google and you go to an actual LinkedIn internal page on the LinkedIn website, and the information is either wrong or is old. I just find that so frustrating. That's probably why I've done so well as a LinkedIn lead generation person and consultant, is because LinkedIn, while an amazing tool, a little bit hard to use all these different buttons and all these different processes that you got to figure out how to do properly. So I'm here to demystify that and to let you know that I'm qualified to teach you. And why? Well, a couple of things about me. Um, 27 plus years in digital marketing and website design field. I'm also a father of two beautiful girls and a husband, and I got a beautiful wife. I've been doing LinkedIn stuff for 17 and a half years, since just before 2006. I help my clients generate millions of dollars in sales over the last 17 and a half years, and I have real great information you can use today. Today will not be just a pitch fest. It'll be actual real information you can use today, and I'll be giving a couple of my tidbits, some of my greatest tips for you. So once again, get your questions ready for the very, very end. I'll show you some really, really cool shit today. And then lastly, don't believe me. One of the things I find, and write this down for yourself, is one of the first action items, recommendations. Now, I'll be talking about this a little bit more in the middle of the presentation, but recommendations are so important. How many of us want to put a Y in the chat box, if you have done this before, have looked on Amazon and looked at reviews before we bought? People are influenced by reviews. So the more you have, personally, I think the better. I've had conversations with my clients beforehand on quantity or quality. Personally, I like going for quantity recommendations because, you got two different items of basically the same price. One has, 20 reviews and one has 200 reviews, right? You're not going to read all the reviews, right? You're going to look at the best ones, obviously, and, look at the ones that have the best reviews on them. So, ask people for reviews. It doesn't have to just be your clients, it can be your associates, your husband, your wife, your staff, right? People who know you. They can talk about your work ethic as opposed to just talking about, people who have used you as far as your clients goes. So another reason why you want to use LinkedIn and niche into LinkedIn is because LinkedIn cracked 1 billion people as of November of last year. And so, we all heard the old saying, the money's in the list. Well, LinkedIn has that list for you. You just got to figure out how to tap into it. And, that's my job today, to tell you how to tap into it and what are people looking for in 2024/2025, because that's around the corner now. Can't believe it. But what are people looking for right now on LinkedIn? Like, this changed a lot, especially over the last 4 years since COVID happened. And a little history on LinkedIn: launched in 2003, acquired by Microsoft in 2016 for $26 billion. Imagine busting your ass but making $26 billion off the sale at the very end. 190 plus users in North America alone. And personally, for myself, out of all the social media platforms and I've used Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and, yeah, what do you call it? Instagram. I've tried everything. YouTube. I found that LinkedIn has the best bang for the buck. It's been the most consistent, and that's also very important because, you can try things that are great in the very beginning, but also they wane or they drop off. Because LinkedIn's acquiring new users every single day, that hasn't happened. It just keeps on getting bigger and bigger. And also, a very big thing is, out of all the social media platforms out there, I believe LinkedIn has the highest per capita income of all the social media platforms out there. And why is that important? Is because the people on there, they have the money to spend on your services. They can hire you, they can afford you. You got, yeah, there are people out there is like, oh, you got to spend $1,000. I can't afford that. But there's so many people who can afford that, or afford $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, right? I've had my clients close millions of dollars in sales on LinkedIn over the last 17 and a half years. Um, LinkedIn has 310 monthly active users, right? 16.2% of the platform, which is, 160 million plus, log into the platform daily. And you can see the age demographic, right? Most people are going to be selling to this demographic over here, 60 and 15.4%, right? And so, if your age demographic of people who buy your services are between 25 and 54, and I say probably most of us fall in that category, then, LinkedIn is a place to be. Also, it's pretty well split down the middle. A little more men are using LinkedIn than women, but women are catching on to LinkedIn really well also. On average, LinkedIn users spend over 7 minutes per day in the platform, which means they're looking at their messages, looking at the platform, looking at things almost every single day. And 96% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn for organic social media marketing. And marketers see up a 2 times higher conversion rate on LinkedIn as opposed to other social media platforms. So just look at this here. Of all the marketers did a poll, and, of all the platforms, B2B people who are B2B sell their services mostly to businesses, use LinkedIn more than any other platform out there. So that's pretty incredible. Now, the challenge is, for many of us, we have this problem here. No more low-hanging fruit for my business. and I have an empty calendar. I'm burning time trying to get messages. And when people come to the meetings, I find when people come to me, they're saying a lot of people come to their meetings, they're tire cookers. They're not really there for a sales meeting, or the person who's getting the meeting really has communicated that when they come for a meeting on LinkedIn, it's a sales meeting. You want to buy my services as opposed to, trying to reverse pitch me or something like that, right? So it's very, really important that you have a system, and I believe LinkedIn can be that system. So, what is the winning strategy for 2024, 2025? You might want to write this down for yourself. I believe the four pillars of success for LinkedIn. You want to take a screenshot also, and also I'm recording this. I'll be giving the video afterwards. But the consistency, or the four pillars of success on LinkedIn, is number one, having a rock star profile, right? If your profile looks like crap, no one's going to be convinced that you are the expert in your field. So it's very, very important that your profile is done. All the I's dotted, all the T's crossed, and LinkedIn actually tells you what's happening by telling you your profile is all-star when you completed all different sections and done everything and done things well, right? So, sorry, people just entering the waiting room here. Um, Uh, and next thing is consistency. So if you're doing things, great for a couple of weeks in a row, and then nothing happens for a month, that's not consistent, right? You need to be consistently building up your followers and your first connections. And also, are you building relationships? Many people are just adding new contacts. But let me ask you this question and think to yourself, when's the last time you messaged, or have you ever spoke to all of your contacts on LinkedIn, right? That is something that people have told me beforehand, that they have all these contacts on LinkedIn, but they've not talked to every single one of them ever on Zoom, or met them, or called them on the phone, and they haven't messaged all their contacts in years. Next thing is, what are you doing for content marketing? Are you doing any kind of video creation? And do you have an authentic content marketing and content engagement strategy? And I'll explain what I mean by that. Um, if all you're doing is putting on posts and content on LinkedIn that says buy my shit, no one cares. The people who are growing the best on LinkedIn are sharing real things about their personal lives as well as who they are on LinkedIn, and that is massively ramping up their engagement strategy. We all want to work with people who are nice people out there. We've all worked with, pardon my French, dickheads and assholes, right? Unfortunately. And by having an authentic content strategy and showing people, like I've done videos myself on breaking my leg and having my family take care of me and how important that was to me and how much I love them. I've done videos on working out. I've been working out since I was 13 years old. And I find that, exercising, I have a really great pimped out gym in my basement for myself. I love it. I go down there 3, 4 times a week consistently, and I did a video on how important that is, as far as having mind and body, and working out, as far as just taking care of yourself physically and personally. And then last thing is, are you using the LinkedIn event platform to create your own LinkedIn events like I'm doing today? The LinkedIn platform is amazing, but out of a billion plus people out there, only a very, very small percentage of people are using the event platform, and you can really get a great bump in the amount of sales you do and the amount of people that you turn on to who you are as a person and who want to work with you. Because I do an event every single month. My next event will be like October 24th, and it's just a matter of knowing how to use it and making sure that your events get filled. So it starts with your LinkedIn profile. Your profile has to be more than an online business card. It's your personal brand and marketing platform. People have asked me, should I be, doing all my marketing through my company page or my personal profile? And the answer is definitely 100% your personal profile. This is a really big takeaway. Write this down for yourselves. People want to deal with people, not some nameless faceless corporation. So if you're trying to do your sales from your company page, unless you have a big budget and you have a lot of followers already, you'll be, banging your head against the wall. People want to talk to you on your personal profile more than your company page. So the competition is starting to take LinkedIn seriously, and your competition is spending money and investing money on LinkedIn. If you don't do the same, your competition is going to be stealing your leads, right? You have to get out of your comfort zone. Are you on camera? Are you doing stuff like this over here? I'm just going to share my computer sound and go to my website for a second. And so people want to see stuff like this here. They want to see you on camera. They want to see you and your own videos. Waiting for my videos to pop in here.
Today, we're going to explore a strategy that can transform your LinkedIn journey. Welcome to Unlocking Success, the power of joint venturing and collaboration on LinkedIn.
And so by having me in my videos, I'm not trying to make myself a massive influencer, but I tell you, so many people have said to me, I just had someone beforehand when we were in the chat room or the waiting room saying, I see you all over LinkedIn all the time. You're all over LinkedIn. They say like they almost know me because I'm in a lot of my videos. Here's another video here where I'm in it.
Okay, LinkedIn, we are back. Happy 2024. Today, I want to talk about something that is near and dear.
That was a January video, I believe, for myself. And also for LinkedIn, people want to see something different on the feed. So what you're doing is you are competing with everybody here in the feed here, right? This is your competition. Competition for eyeballs on your post, competition for engagement, competition for people who are going to be connecting with you or want to follow you, that kind of thing, right? So are you making cool videos, for yourself out there? Are you doing things like creating Pixar style videos?
If you're going to be successful on LinkedIn in 2024, these are the things you need to know.
Your brand is your identity. We help you build a strong brand on LinkedIn that is memorable and stands out among competitors. Our team is all joint venture partners.
So, those are the things that you got to do nowadays in 2024. To grow your audience, you got to out of your comfort zone and be authentic. And then also, in the age of ChatGPT, I'm going to show you today how it works. And you need to start taking it seriously and buying yourself a membership on there because it'll save you a shitload of time. What other people are thinking when they come to your LinkedIn profile, and it sucks that your profile lacks professionality. And if you haven't paid attention to your personal brand, I'm going to ignore your request to connect with me or connect with you because I'm looking at it going, wow, this person hasn't spent any time or money or effort on their profile. Why bother, right? So what's better? Going and seeing a profile who looks like this, where, Bob doesn't, this is a real profile on LinkedIn. You can look it up. Doesn't have a headshot, no banner. I mean, president, right? What's better, that or one of these? You have to think about what people are thinking on LinkedIn in 2024, 2025. And what they're thinking is, does this person take time and effort to work on their own professional brand? Will they do the same thing for me if I hire them? Or will they spend the same amount of time, taking care of me because I can see they take care of themselves also. So you want to have a great, amazing, outstanding cover photo and banner because everybody's heard the saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. So many people will decide to connect with you, whether how you have a great headshot and a great banner, because they're thinking, well, does this look professional? Look at these cover banners here. Some of these are amazing pieces of art, right? Look at Jenny Perry, obviously a model, author, life coach, and speaker, but look at the cool shots she has of herself. Look at Mary Vivian, right? It's just and look at the fact she's smiling. So we come to my next point is redo your headshot make sure I can see your face, and make sure you are smiling, right? If you're smiling in your headshot, you'll get a 30% bump in the people who are accepting your connection request. And obviously, if no one accepts your connection request, nothing else happens afterwards. So it's really super important that you have a professional looking headshot. You don't need to do a big photo shoot with a professional photographer. Just have your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody in your family take a dozen headshots of you in front of a single color wall, like this lady over here in the gray wall, because you can get yourself, cut the background out and put yourself in a professional, good office blurred background or something. But you want to have a very professional headshot, and make sure your headshot is zoomed in enough where I can actually see your face, see your eyes, see you smiling. We've all seen headshots which are good, but like they're so small and tiny on the thing, they're like so far away you can't even see the person. Um, LinkedIn will tell you when your profile is done as All Star. They'll show you as you drop down your profile here like this. All you gotta do is, I believe, scroll down your profile, and I'll tell you this little section over here, right? This little thing pops down here. The more at profile section, they'll tell you how well done your profile is and whether you have gotten your profile to beginner, intermediate, or all star. And when you hit all star, you'll see not only a big bump in people accepting your connection request because all your stuff's done on there, but also you'll see an increase in profile views. When people are looking for your service, let's say I'm looking for a lawyer, what's going to happen is LinkedIn is going to send me a couple of things here based upon number one, are they in my area? As you can see, all the people who are showing up here on the people section are in my city, which is Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And they all have the word lawyer as either the first word or the only word in their profile. Now, obviously, lawyers are dealing a lot of B2C, B2B also, but B2C also. And so, most lawyers are not great marketers, but they have their stuff on their profile, which says basically lawyer, not being too fancy on there. So, but, look at my profile for a second. And look what I have here, right? My key phrase, and by the way, it's called LinkedIn SEO. SEO stands for search engine optimization, the same kind of thing that you do for your website on Google to be ranked on page one of Google. But how hard is it to get ranked on page one of Google, especially when Google changes their effing algorithm 20 times a month, and one day you're on page one and next day you're on page five. Like, I got tired of chasing that rabbit. It was so much work and effort and money I spent on SEO and backlinks and optimizing my website. I just said, F it. I'm just going to work on something that's actually consistent, which is bringing LinkedIn to me and bringing my leads from LinkedIn as far as being consistent. And then, so, LinkedIn SEO, my number one key phrase I want to be found for is LinkedIn lead generation expert. I looked on Google and this was the number one key phrase people are looking for, or LinkedIn lead generation. So I have that key phrase as my first phrase in my headline, but also I have it in my about section right over here also. So you want to have, a smattering of the phrases that you would go on Google for and look up to find your service, your website on Google. You want to have the same type of methodology in your LinkedIn section here. And I like the pipes here. This is called a pipe, this little thing over here, and broken up. And it's very, very important to have this done properly and well. Don't just say you're the CEO of your company. No one really gives a shit whether you're the CEO of a company. Don't make it too general, and especially write this down here. The four things people want to know when they come to your profile and look at your cover banner are: who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And especially, and if this one doesn't like roll off your tongue in 2 seconds, you need to seriously sit down with your partners, your husband, your wife, your associates, and figure out, well, why, why me, right? Like, what magic do I bring to the table that no one in my industry does? You know it. You've had people say it to you. Oh, like for my friend Veronica's on here. She's a cold caller. She's absolutely amazing. But what can you do out there that no one else can do? And for me personally, I've been doing LinkedIn lead generation for 17 and a half years, much longer than most companies out there. I have all the data on my computer. I have 140 recommendations on my LinkedIn profile. And usually my clients get anywhere between 5 to 15 new sales calls every single week after my initial ramp up time for my program. So, you need to be able to answer those questions on your profile very, very quickly. And the same thing, like once again, in your about section, right? And also, you want to have what I call a little bit of sizzle your steak, right? Have some emojis in there, have some like cool stuff, right? Um, People who just do the videos on LinkedIn where they're talking in their phone and their phone is portrait and they're just talking in there. Those videos don't do as well as people who have a little more of like special effects or great transitions or interesting stuff on their videos. Once again, I call that having a little bit of sizzle with your steak. People on LinkedIn want to be entertained. They want to be entertained. They want to be helped out. And what your profile section should do is address their pain points and make sure that your LinkedIn profile, your about section and headline are about benefits of working with you, not just features. Features are I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm the owner of my company. That's a feature, right? The benefit is if you work with me, you're going to see just a shitload of leads coming into your calendar on a regular basis. You're going to build up a database on your profile that's going to be, valuable to you as far as being able to contact people when you want to. So, what are the problems that you solve for your clientele? And also think about this. What do most of my clients come to me and ask me to do first? Like they're hiring me for these services, but I've noticed that most clients, when they hire me in the very, very beginning, they are asking me to do this part first. And how can you create content about how to solve that problem in your on LinkedIn, on your profile, in either videos or static posts? So addressing their pain points and having the keywords and terminology. Don't make it over technical, but you want to have things like this here, right? LinkedIn lead generation expert, where you like 5 to 15 new sales calls every single week, those kind of things, right? Next thing people ask me is I do multiple things in my business. I have like 4, 5, or even 10 things I sell. Should I have multiple profiles, especially if I have things that aren't related? Like, let's say I do insurance sales and I'm a photographer. And I actually had a client who was doing both for a while, and they were constantly being conflicted because obviously, if someone's buying insurance from you, while they might think, okay, that's cool, he did photography. They don't want that expert photographer. They want an expert insurance person who's very, very knowledgeable to guide them on buying the right insurance and at the right price point. So don't create two profiles, create multiple experiences. And your experience here is this. Here's your experience. These are all my experiences. And then as I'm doing different LinkedIn lead generation things, I can always edit this experience section. I can move things up and down. I can just click on this button here. And let's say I want to do more stuff about my website design company. I can just move that up here, right? I can just take this section here and move it up. They move up and down. Here they go. Here, they can move up and down here. So I can move this up here and move this one down here for myself. But don't create two profiles or three profiles or four profiles. LinkedIn will eventually could find out about that and they will delete all your profiles for you. So very, very important that you don't do that. Here are some examples of profile makeovers. And you can see, the headshot is okay, but, not great. The banner has nothing to do with his business at all. And then the second one where you have a cool banner, you have a cool headshot, you got a cool thing in the background, and you have this, better information on his headline about what he does. The one over here, David's, half a headshot, no banner at all, to this one over here, just cleaner, clearer, better to look at. Sharon came to me and was a president and owner of a very large construction company in California. And as you can see, she wanted to be able to contact people on LinkedIn, but she didn't feel very confident about doing this with her profile on the left-hand side. And having this profile on the right-hand side afterwards made a big difference in her confidence, as well as the amount of people who are accepting her connection request for her. Next thing is your company page. Do you need one? And I'm always asked, do I need one? Yes, you do need one because it's almost expected to look professional, like having a website. So, is how have you ever asked somebody, what is your website? And they go, I don't have one. And you're going, oh, really? The website? Really? So how can I trust that you're professional? How can I trust that you're not a fly-by-night operation? So once again, having a company page is very, very important because it'll do a couple things for you. Number one, go back over here. There it goes. So if your company page is done properly, you'll have a colored logo over here, and you'll have your company page over here, and then I can click onto it and have a nice looking company page afterwards, and it looks very professional. So once again, people are expecting this, and you might want to write this down for yourself. Obviously, they got a new dashboard on here that must have been done today because I didn't see it yesterday. Write it down for yourself for your company page to make sure it's done professionally and properly. Because when people are, you're messaging people, you finally got someone to maybe agree to a meeting with you. The three things they're looking at is your personal profile on LinkedIn, your company page, and your website. Make sure all three of them have a similar look and theme, similar colors, and make sure all three of them are done professionally. Otherwise, people will go, I'm not quite convinced you're the guy or gal. So the credibility hump is very, very important to overcome on LinkedIn, and by having a great looking company page as just part and parcel of getting that next hurdle there. Next thing we'll talk about today is messaging. So many clients tell me that people are accepting the connection requests, but once they do, when they message them, no one responds at all. So the first thing is don't send dumb messages like this here, right? We've all gotten these messages on LinkedIn. Right? Something like this, right? They're just trying to sell you off the bat. So don't send a sales message in the connection message. And especially once people accept your connection on LinkedIn, don't try to sell them right away. No one wants to be sold to on LinkedIn. They want to be helped out. So for 2024, make sure that your messaging is doing things like offering them free advice or a free service. I offer people, especially after the webinar here, a free profile audit. So you want your profile done at the very, very end after this webinar today, give me a shout on my calendar, and I'll be happy to do that with you and see if I can possibly help you out. Also, making yourself a resource by putting, let's say, link backs to your blog posts in your messaging that has tips and tricks to help them do things on LinkedIn. Because the things people want to know on LinkedIn and messaging and content marketing is A, write it down for yourselves, A, how to solve a problem, B, how to do something in general, or C, people want to be entertained. They want a funny joke in the message, right? They want to be, they want to laugh, they want to cry. We've all seen, cute pictures of duckies and kitties, or someone on the street who's homeless, and someone goes help them out, right? That's what people want to see nowadays on LinkedIn. They want to know how much you care, and the old saying, no one will care how much you know until they won't know how much you care. Very, very important. And lastly, when you're messaging people on LinkedIn, try going on their profile actually and picking out some tidbits of what makes them unique, maybe where they are in the world, what they did. Maybe a post, maybe comment or send a message about a post they did on LinkedIn. Finding common ground is something for you to get the conversation going rather than trying to sell them your services off the bat. The next thing that's really important is profile headlines. So I'll just put this in the chat box so you can go here and check out some cool profile headlines right here. I'll be able to go on these messages at the very, very end here and say, oh, someone just did a promotional thing here. Yeah, so look at these profile headlines. Also, here's a really cool thing that most people haven't seen beforehand or don't know about is your SSI score. So everybody click on this link here and check out what your SSI score. SSI stands for Social Selling Index, and it's two things. It's a marketing tool for the premium membership sales navigator because every time you click on these little links over here where it says establish your personal brand or find the right people or engage with insights, it goes back to a sales navigator selling page for people who are interested in buying that membership. And I'll tell you why you might want to buy it later on, right? Anything above 70 is really good. Anything below 70 is not great. Also, when you have a higher SSI score, mine's 86. When you have a higher SSI score, you'll also show up more in the results page when people looking at things for you. So very, very important. 48. So yeah. Now, a great way of bringing up your SSI score is to comment, like, and repost other people's content. So if you also a great way of getting on someone else's radar is if you regularly comment on their posts, they'll eventually notice you, especially if you're asking questions all the time when you're commenting on their posts. Next thing is LinkedIn algorithm. Great. Connie, that's 76. That's awesome. I found that overall organic reach has gone down, but it's gone down on other platforms as well. The thing you need to do on LinkedIn in 2024 is work smarter, right? Have better content, have content that engages people. My thing for LinkedIn, that's why I do these Pixar style videos here, right? Is what can I do on LinkedIn that no one else in my industry is doing to capture people's attention. And no one's doing Pixar style cool cartoon videos, to engage with people, right? That's really cool. And no one's doing that at all, right? Having videos with you in them, like this one over here and this one over here with this guy over here, right? All very, very important to do because people are looking to connect with you. People want connection. And also, write this down for yourself. People buy with emotion and they follow up their purchase with logic. So they buy with emotion. So anything you can do to make the purchase of your service emotional, make them laugh, make them cry, great job then. People buy with emotion and follow up with right brain thinking, left brain thinking. So really, really important. Start by showing your audience who you really are. Focus on creating engaging content, right? There are things you can do for your multimedia. Get good at upgrading your equipment, creating videos, learn some video editing software right out there. I can send you, if you want me to, send you a list of what equipment I get my clients to buy. Anybody who wants to contact me at the very, very end of this, I'll be happy to send that list to you. Green screen, ring light, and microphone, but a good microphone. So, and which leads me to the next thing for the algorithm is content marketing. Yeah, no problem, Logan. Just I'll get you the end here. Content marketing is super important in 2024. It's really evolved over the last 4 years since COVID. People ask me how many times I should post content per week, and I say probably 2 or 3 times a week. Any more than that, you're really not going to be able to leverage your content properly. It takes the algorithm time to find people who are commenting on your stuff. Also, for the algorithm, if you're not getting 20 or 30 likes and 20 to 30 comments every single time you post, the LinkedIn algorithm is going to shrink your audience to 10%. If you have 5,000 followers or connections on LinkedIn, only 500 people are going to see your content on a regular basis. And that's one of the reasons I started this service for my clients, which is my LinkedIn content marketing and boosting. So by boosting your content to make sure that you're getting the type of engagement that you need to on LinkedIn, we can train the algorithm that your content is important. If you want to have someone to do your content for you, create your videos for you, create your static posts for you, and then boost them. So on a regular basis, you get, 20, 30 likes and 20, 30 comments every single time. Then, you might want to look into something like this for yourselves if you're not a great content creator already. I made this little video for you guys. Let's watch it, all right? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the algorithm in relation to content marketing as far as text and image posts. This PDF that I found on the internet was by a guy named Richard Vanderbloom. Kudos to him and his team. Amazing guy. Look him up on LinkedIn and follow him. Anyways, text and image posts, as you can see, ideal length 500 or 900 to 1200 characters. If you're going to do a slider, PDF slider, about 12 slides, right? Good. So I won't play the whole thing over here, but if you stay to the very, very end today, I'll give you this PDF as your bonus. They'll tell you exactly how to do the content and which content performs better on LinkedIn. The most important type of video content you can produce nowadays is video content. I think that video content is super important. And I use ChatGPT to create my content and also to create my scripts. So here's some of the content I've created beforehand. When I created probably 4 years ago about the LinkedIn event platform.
You're not using LinkedIn event platform and it's costing you money. The LinkedIn event platform, what is it?
So you can see I have transitions in there. I have some cool effects. Once again, a little bit of a sizzle with your steak. This one here is for people who've been kicked off LinkedIn. LinkedIn, unfortunately, is notoriously bad at letting people know what they're doing and why they do it. So sometimes you get kicked off LinkedIn or temporarily suspended with the thing of being permanently suspended. I get people on LinkedIn again, and here's the video for that.
Help, 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 help. I've been put in LinkedIn jail and I can't get out.
And here's lastly another piece of animated content.
Welcome to 2024. Our LinkedIn webinar is going to elevate you in your marketing and lead generation efforts in Q1. This is a live Zoom webinar. 100.
Once again, ask yourself, what can I do on LinkedIn that no one else in my industry is doing as far as content marketing or posting? These are actual screenshots of people posting on LinkedIn, and you can turn your content marketing into an inbound lead generation machine. Inbound is people contacting you to hire you without you, messaging them. But on top of, and the outbound is you messaging people doing the events I'm doing now today. But look at the numbers here: 26,000 views, 27,000 views, 43,000 views, right? You can get some real things happening on LinkedIn. And especially look at this person over here. I've known Bridget now for probably 10 years. I'm one of her original 30,000 actual first connections. And now she has over 4 million, that's million with an M, followers on LinkedIn. She's making mucho mega bucks because she is a keynote speaker on leadership, HR, artificial intelligence, and digital transformation. And once you want to hire someone who has 4 million followers on LinkedIn, pretty amazing. Rich media content and your profile. Here's my profile on LinkedIn again. And you want to have this rich media content on your profile on LinkedIn. Here I am. It'll be coming up in a second here. Which leads to this stuff over here. So look at all this feature stuff. You can put featured content. So if you do a post on LinkedIn and you can go to that post, all you do is you click on these three buttons and you can add this to featured content on your profile. It's waiting for the Zoom thing. So little three buttons over here. So I can remove it or I can add it to featured content in my profile. And you want to have some cool stuff on there because most people don't have this on the LinkedIn profile. And it looks really cool to have some good videos and good stuff in this section over here. Right? Show all featured items. This can really be a great section for you to showcase your work as far as what you do and how you do things. Um, oh, and lastly, there are too many people sending dumb spam messages on LinkedIn. Once you send them a connection request, don't do that yourself. I even wrote a article that even shows up on Google. Uh, Stop trying to get me in bed on LinkedIn on the first date. So this is like 9 years ago. It still shows up on page one of Google. But this is an article I wrote that I'll put in the chat box here that, don't do those things. Don't try to get people into bed by sending them things here. And also for your chat GBT, let me show you how that works here. Yeah, it's like don't send these kind of messages. No one wants to get these messages from you on LinkedIn. Don't respond to them at all. So when you're doing your messaging, ask leading questions. Try to offer help or advice for free, as I do tons of that myself. Here is ChatGPT. So when you're creating my videos or creating things, I put a prompt in here already, and my prompt says, write me a LinkedIn post that has at least 250 words and lots of emojis, broken up so it's easy to read, about the power of referral marketing and joint venturing on LinkedIn. Make sure you also create a graphic for it, and the graphic, if it has words, the words are legible and proper English. So by using the ChatGPT thing over here, check this out here. It's creating a graphic, and then it'll create the post afterwards, which is like really, really freaking cool. So this saves me a ton of time. I started using ChatGPT probably about 2 years ago when it first came out, or when it did come out. But look at this. I can write a post on LinkedIn in 2 seconds, and it's not like, painful to do. So very, very, very important that you adopt this. And if you need help using it, tell me. I'll be happy to go into your thing with you and show you how to use it properly. It really is a great, great, great tool for me. As far as creating blog posts, scripts for videos, posts for videos. I mean, look at this, right? This is pretty freaking cool, man. I'm blown away personally. I hope you guys are blown away also. And lastly, the LinkedIn event platform, right? It's called edutainment, getting people onto your radar by bringing them to a webinar or a event where you can educate them, because then they'll know that you're the expert in your field. So here's my new graphic I created with ChatGPT for today's event. So what can you do to make your lead generation and marketing work for you on LinkedIn? So the first thing, we have three main mistakes people are making for their lead generation on LinkedIn. Number one, low or non-existent lead flow. You're not adding enough people to your profile on a regular basis to make sure you have the list, right? Number two, a non-existent or bad warm-up system, right? The stats are at any given time, people seeing your marketing messaging, 3%, 1 to 3% will want to buy it right now. 7% will want to buy your stuff or talk to you in 2 to 4 weeks. 30% will be 4 weeks to 6 months. 30% will be 6 months to 2 years. And last 30% will be never at all. They'll never be your clients at all. So almost 99.99% of people are in a thing, a dogfight to get a hold of and sell to the 1 to 3% of people out there. But everybody else is ignoring that 67% of people that don't want to buy from you right now, but might want to buy from you in the next you know, 2 weeks to 2 years. So what kind of follow-up system are you messaging people on your LinkedIn profile? I message everybody, all my 30,000 connections, every 1 to 2 years on my profile, not only to clean my list, but also to see if people are engaging with me properly or talking to me or want to talk to me because I've never talked to them even once on my profile beforehand. And the last problem I see people doing is they're trying to do everything themselves. I don't do my air conditioner. I don't do my car engine, right? Those are things I hire people for. So it's maybe time to talk to somebody who is an expert to help you out because I've done that beforehand. I've hired experts in the past beforehand who have taken me years ahead and only a few months, taking me years and years ahead on my navigation of LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever else platform I was paying for or into. So is it time for you possibly to do that? To correct these three mistakes, we can do a LinkedIn customized prescription and profile redesign. We can do your profile, right? Those are the areas to fix. The quality of your profile, new headshot, new banner, new copy, increase the number of connections for you by helping you target people on LinkedIn and figuring out how to use LinkedIn filtering system and how to use a premium membership, which there basically are four on LinkedIn. There's career, there's business, sales navigator, and recruiter. You want to buy probably either business or sales navigator because business will give you the amount of credits you need on the back end to contact people. Anybody who's ever done lead generation or marketing on LinkedIn earnestly has probably come up with that graphic where they tell you you've viewed too many profiles now, and we're not going to let you view anymore until next week or maybe the beginning of the next calendar month. Are you doing content marketing? Are you doing consistently? Are you boosting your content? Are you getting the likes and shares you need to train the algorithm on LinkedIn that your content marketing is important and therefore all of your first connections and followers should see your content? Are you creating the messaging that's creating conversations and meaningful conversations? Are you doing a follow-up system for conversions? And do you have a clear plan of action and a system that supports it for doing events or other things on LinkedIn? How many leads do you need? Have you ever calculated how many leads do you need? Let's say out of every 10 people that you talk to, you close 3 sales. Well, that's a 30% conversion rate. And how many clients do you need, to close those 3 sales, right? How many people do you need to talk to on LinkedIn every single month to do that, right? So, a customized prescription on LinkedIn means more sales because people are going to not only, accept your connection request more readily, but they'll also start talking to you because you're doing all the right things, all your I's dotted, all your T's are crossed. And last thing is, if you're not doing everything consistently and right, nothing really happens on LinkedIn, right? So, some people that have used my services, here's a couple of my clients, $85,000 in sales right away on on my program. And this guy, one of my best clients ever, did $30 million in sales. He owns a custom woodworking, architectural woodworking company, and we were able to get him, $30 million in sales with home builders because all these home builders he found this way of making his custom cabinetry less expensive than most builders. And so he got all these massive amounts of contracts from home builders by doing this and all through LinkedIn. So do you want help creating an outstanding, amazing profile that converts? Do you want help copywriting your profile? Do you want help coming up with kind of messaging that'll actually get engagement? And do you need help by figuring out what kind of video software to use or automation to use for yourself? I have all the information all updated and relevant for 2024, 2025. What kind of paid membership should you use? What are little known features that actually convert to engagement on LinkedIn, especially on the app? Why are you getting people accepting your connection request, but no one's engaging afterwards? What kind of content should you be making? What kind of content should you be posting on LinkedIn, right? Are you using groups? Are you using paid for advertising? So all these schemes come, together. And lastly, the reason a lot of people haven't hired someone or are not using somebody even as a temporary consultant for a small package, it's all about trust. You haven't found anybody you can trust. So, what about someone who has, 16, 17 years of experience on LinkedIn and has over 143 recommendations, right? So here is my information to contact me on LinkedIn. And also for anybody who fills out this form here. So book a 30 meeting on my calendar. I'll be happy to do a free profile audit for you. But also, I want to know how I did on this presentation. Anybody who fills out this form here, which is a feedback form, will get my bonuses. I'll be able to email them to you. Bonus will be that posting thing you saw beforehand, the content posting one, which is, what kind of posts are the best posts out there on LinkedIn make. Where is it here? There's this one over here. And also a newly created PDF on scripts. So I'll send you a great new one I created for my lead generation for my one of my white papers on scripting, what kind of scripts to use. So thank you very much for being here today. You want the free guest, fill out the feedback form. And now we come to Q&A. So please unmute yourself. I'm going to go through the chat box over here and figure out if anybody said anything as far as questions go, or unmute yourself and ask me a question. I'll be happy to answer them for you here. Yes, Jeanette.
Alan, what program do you use for creating your videos and putting in the little animations and stuff?
Yeah, that is proprietary information, unfortunately. Contact me privately. I'll be happy to share that with you, all right?
Okay.
Anybody else have any LinkedIn questions at all?
I have another question about events.
Yeah.
Is it how hard or easy is it to set them up, and what's the protocol for sending out invitations to your followers about them?
Yeah, definitely. So for events on LinkedIn, it's great. I've been doing events on LinkedIn now for probably 5 years. Here's my event page, I believe, on LinkedIn. Here we are. So a couple of things. I'll be happy to answer your question afterwards, Erica. They're very easy to create. The two things that LinkedIn does terribly is getting people to add the event to their calendar so they actually show up that day, and also having a Zoom link sent to them. So make sure you put a Zoom registration link over here and the registration button over here, and make sure you're branded properly. Right, here's my thing here. Not sure why it's so small, but here's mine. And make sure you have the add to calendar thing over here, so you can add people to your calendar. But yeah, you definitely wanted to be doing events on LinkedIn.
Okay, what did Radhika provide update? Did she say how was the presentation? How was her panel discussion?
Hi there, I'm not sure who's talking.
I don't have any update.
Sure.
Hello. Who's talking there?
Hi.
So he said, okay, we'll talk tomorrow.
Sorry. Harish.
So I'm not sure
Sorry.
who's doing that here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's me, Shirish. I wanted to. Sorry.
I'm gonna mute everybody. I'm gonna mute everybody first, and then I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself again. Someone was talking there and not being respectful of what's happening on the platform here right now. So unmute yourself again, please. I'll be happy to talk to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I had like two calls going on simultaneously, so
Yeah.
you were hearing the other call too. And my question is, when you have the event published, I
Yeah.
saw there is a discrepancy in the dates. In the
Yeah.
title, you put today's date, but in
Yeah.
the
So I have the next date going over. I'm rolling over the page here.
yes,
So this
it
changes.
says
I'll
October
change this
24.
here. Yeah. I'll just change this to October 24. And there you go. The next date is officially October 24th.
So that's what I wanted to mention.
Yeah. Any other questions at all?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's this?
It's Veronica.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi. So LinkedIn has asked me to verify that I'm me, and then it asks me for government ID. Do you recommend that I do it or don't do it?
Yep, do it
Okay. Thank you.
because people want to know that they're working with a verified person on LinkedIn. And for some reason, LinkedIn decided to do this thing with a company called, I think it's called ClearScore. Anyways, I couldn't verify myself for like a year and a half, and all of a sudden the other day I was going on to it, and it finally worked. But yeah,
Okay.
it's
Thank you for
probably
that.
I think it says that you're verified when people go to your profile. I think it says that on your profile, or should say it on my profile that I am verified. Does it say that on my profile?
I just thought I'd ask you for safety.
Yeah,
Should I
yeah,
give them
yeah,
that info or
yeah,
not? Thank
yeah.
you.
I'd say do it because once again, that's the biggest thing. People don't be scammed at all, so they want to make sure that you're a real person. I think the verification process proves that you're a real person. And I think people have a little badge. I can't see it on my profile because it's my profile, but anybody else who's on there, do you see verified on my profile when you go on my profile? Anybody?
There's a little badge with the check mark that
Okay,
doesn't verified, just the emoji or the icon.
okay, okay, perfect, great. Who has a house question?
I do.
Yeah,
Erica
who's
here.
this?
Erica, my hand is raised, but I
Okay,
guess I
great.
um,
Yeah, I'm not on the hand raising section there, so go ahead. But yeah, go ahead.
no. So you mentioned about building relationships and actually, meeting every now and again with your connections.
Yep.
And I do that, but the I also have like a CRM and I struggle with understanding or knowing when is a good time to actually add people to my email list, that I've actually spoken with or folks that I have their emails.
Yeah, for sure. You can scrape LinkedIn now and
Yeah.
get people's email addresses. LinkedIn stopped providing that, but there's tools out there to scrape LinkedIn and get their email addresses. Once again, just don't be too salesy at all, right? Try to help people out. Try to position your question or your whatever you're doing with them and a wrapper of I'm trying to help you out. I have a free webinar. I'd be happy to give you some kind of free service, right? Or we've never talked beforehand, right? We've been connected on LinkedIn for 3 years, or we've connected LinkedIn for many, many years. We've never talked beforehand. Love to actually meet you and have a virtual coffee with you, or buy you a virtual Starbucks, right? I mean, all depends on what your goal is.
Okay. All right, thank you. I'm a human resources consultant, so it gets it's hard to do like funny. I know you said like people buy on emotion, but as a
Yeah,
human,
why is it hard to do a funny video on LinkedIn, right? You can do a funny one, right? What's the weirdest things you've seen as a human resources person? Like, what's the
oh,
weirdest stories you can talk about that are maybe funny?
yeah, yeah.
So that go to that lady, that Bridget Hassian
Hmm.
person. She does HR also, and she's put on some great stories. That's the reason how she built up her profile so well to 4 million people plus, is because she's not put on funny stories. She's put on stories that make you cry. Like I remember one video she did, uh, you know, um, where the person she was working for, the company she was working for or in at the time, was doing interviews for job interviews, and somebody, lady who she was working with, came to her and said, "Oh, the person came in for the job interview, half hour late, soaking wet. I'm going to send them home." And Bridget said, "Well, yeah, hold on for a second. Let's see what's going on here." Well, it turns out that the guy's bus broke down about 20 kilometers or 20 miles away from the place. He ran there in the rain, and after hearing that, Bridget said, "Hire this guy." Turned out to be one of the best employees in the company ever, and Lily was just going to let him go. But it made me cry, right, on the way she told it and the way she positioned that. That some guy ran through the rain for half an hour to get to a job interview, and the lady was going to send him home, right? So, I would definitely go to her profile and look at her videos and look at her content and see the engagement she gets in her content. Yeah, now she has like 4 million people, so she gets great engagement every single time. But scroll down on her posts and go as far back in time as possible and see some of her old stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I am connected with her, so I'll do
Great.
that. Thank you.
Yeah. And who else has a question for me?
Hi, Alan. Can I go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
So it's too late here. I'm from India. Okay, so that's why I couldn't turn on my video. Yeah. So just one question about this the target audience on LinkedIn, right? So for example, I have a company which provides AI automation services primarily in the latest generative AI consulting field. It's a very niche area. And I mean, my target, companies would be like, who are like, who have like good number of employees, who are like, ready to adopt, go to the next level, etc. So in your experience, do you have you felt that LinkedIn probably is good for low ticket sales and not for kind of probably high end software or kind of more software
Oh
consulting
yeah,
kind of.
for sure. LinkedIn, that's a great place. LinkedIn is the place to advertise or market yourself for high-end software. I mean, look how many companies there are, right? I can just type the word in, CEO on LinkedIn. This is new also having this little video here. People, there are over 10 million CEOs on LinkedIn just for the word CEO, right? So I mean, your list is there. It's just a
Mhm.
matter of they don't know you exist, and so you need to have that funnel where you have, the first thing is you have an amazing profile, and then you're creating great content, and the content you're creating, actually helps them out, right? Isn't just trying to sell your stuff. Like, don't just create posts that say buy from me, buy from me, buy from me. Create posts that say, hey, you're having this problem. This is how you solve it, right? People want to
Yeah.
know, how to solve problems on LinkedIn.
Yeah. No, my question, yeah, got it. Obviously, the people out there. So my question primarily was, is email marketing better suited for high-end software versus LinkedIn
No,
DMs,
I'd say do both. I'd say do a combination of both email marketing and LinkedIn, and send do the same thing. Like you're creating what I call a search string on LinkedIn, and the search string is after you go CEO, and then apply all your filters and apply your, location filters and second or third connections and all your, industry, that kind of thing. The website address at the very, very end is
Mm-hmm.
your what I call your search string, and then
Okay.
take that same search string and scrape it for email addresses, and then do a similar campaign of email targeting to the same people you're targeting on LinkedIn, and that way they'll get hit from both sides.
I
But don't
see.
make don't do the same dumb stuff other people do, which is, I'm a software company from India, I'm trying to sell you my services, buy my stuff. You need to ask
Mm-hmm.
people questions like, who are you? What's happening in your life? What challenges you're facing? Have you ever come
Right.
against this challenge over here? I'm doing, or another cool thing I say on my LinkedIn messaging for people is I'm going to be doing a new article on LinkedIn, and these are the questions I would love to have your input. These are the things here, and the questions you ask them will actually
Mm.
identify them whether or not they're a good target for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. These are really valid points, obviously. Thank you so much.
Okay. Who else at here? Marina,
Um,
yeah, asked who's the LinkedIn lady. Her name is Bridget Hassian. So Bridget Hassian is her name.
and it's George.
Hi, George.
You mentioned that there was three tools: a green screen, a microphone, and a camera.
Yep.
Um,
Just
First of
email
all,
me afterwards or book a meeting with me, and I'll be happy to share that list with you.
okay.
And once again, here is my contact information for anybody who wants to book a 30-minute meeting with me. I'll be happy to give you a free profile audit. And yeah, so just oh, did I do that on my personal thing? Everyone in the meeting here goes here. I got it. There we go. And what else question do you have out there, George?
It's what's the difference between the content we should post on our business page and our personal page? Can we just go like on Facebook? I
Yeah,
just go
yeah, I would
from,
say the same content. I wouldn't do different content on both pages at all.
okay.
I do the same content. But The way you want to do it, though, is very, very specific.
Okay.
You want to post the content on your personal page first,
Yeah.
then go to the three dots at the top right and go copy link to post, and then take that link and post it on your company page. And the reason you want to do it that way is because the link juice, that if someone comments on it from your company page, the comment will actually go back to your original personal page post. So you want to make sure that on your personal page post, or the first post you do, you get on that one as many likes, shares, and comments as possible.
Okay. So we shouldn't share it. We should copy the link and
Copy
post.
the link and then just post the link onto your post on your business page. Then once you put the link in there and press enter on your keyboard, all of a sudden you'll see the thing like refreshing, and then putting the graphic or the video or whatever it was on your post in that thing also, as well as all your copy and text. So once again, the reason you do that is because if people go to your post on your um, business page and click onto it and then comment on it, they're actually commenting on the original link that's on your personal profile. And that's where you want to have the most amount of likes, shares, and comments.
Okay. Thank you.
Who's next?
Can I make a request, please?
Yes, of course.
Attendees, this is a request to all attendees. Please post your contact details in the chat room so that everybody can know and connect with you after this meeting.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. Everybody wants to quickly post their LinkedIn profile onto the chat. I'll be sending out a copy of the chat or the AI notes afterwards. And then also I'm recording this, so I'll be sending out the replay afterwards also. Go ahead, Jeanette.
It said in your stats that only 2.9% of the people on LinkedIn are over 55, which surprised me. Is that because it's so much used for careers and biz people? Because my audience is 55 plus.
Yeah, I mean, even if that amount, think of it, it's still a billion people, right?
Yeah.
And I'm probably the exception to the rule. I'm 61, and I'm on like technology and social media like crazy all the time. But many people who are in that age group are not.
And is there a way to search when you're looking for people to connect with, to search based on demographics like age?
No, the three filters I would like on LinkedIn is gender and then age, or like male, female, and then age, right? And they just don't haven't done that. So
So
I've sent messages to LinkedIn several times asking them to add those filters, especially the male female filter, because it would be great. Sometimes all you want is let's see, what did Julie here? What did you post, Julie?
just her link.
Okay, I thought you posted something else. Yeah, so it's a matter of, I would love to have that gender filter on there. I think you can it's like women. I think you can post women on here. Women. I don't think it comes up with just women here.
So
Bless
right
you.
now you can only search by title, is that right?
Title or um yeah. Title, industry, that kind of thing. Location, right?
Click on all filters. You will see lots of filters there.
Yeah. So you have lots of filters there, but okay, so career and business, and my package, I have something called Spotlight, which you can't buy anymore. It's only $100 a year, and I'm grandfathered to do it. It gives me all the features of like business, but career and business have these filters on them. And Sales Navigator, like let's say you go to here and go to Alberta, which is where I am as far as my province in Canada. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Grand Prairie, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This one is in the US. 19 locations. If I was on Sales Navigator, I would probably have like 40 locations for Alberta. So it just has more filters and more detailed filters, but sometimes that's what you need exactly. because you need to really get down into the minute minutia of things. Like Sun Navigator has company size and company revenue, where regular LinkedIn doesn't, as far as filters go. So if you like said beforehand, you want a certain company size, somebody said that for selling to for software packages to companies with a certain employee size, Sound Navigator has that. Regular LinkedIn doesn't.
Okay.
Now you can see here, even when you type women into its LinkedIn, you still get men sometimes, which
Yeah.
is like just stupid. Anybody else have questions at all? Anybody else?
How do I know if I'm already connected with someone? So like I just went to Julie's link and it, it says third. Does that mean I am connected to her?
No, you're not. Third is not connected. So second and third. So
Okay.
first
So,
is we're directly connected. You're my first connection. And second connections are all my other first connections that you're not connected to. Those are your second connections, and then all their first connections that you're not connected to. Those are your third connections.
okay. Great. Thank you.
Anybody else? Cool. So once again, fill out this form for me, please. And I'll be happy to send you those really cool PDFs, my script PDF, as well as the PDF that shows you the types of posts and what it does to the algorithm as far as those posts goes. And yeah, send me that information. And then anybody who wants a free profile audit, which I'll record for you and give you afterwards, talk about what you should do to your profile, I'll be happy to do it for you also. So everybody have a great day. Oh, can I ask here, what are your opinion about the reach down on LinkedIn through using AI? How to boost your reach again? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Marie. Can you unmute yourself for a second and just explain to me what you mean? Like you're using automation, you mean? Marina. So if you want a consultation with me, Erica, just book on my calendar, my Calendly. Here's my Calendly here again. And it's the top one here. And I'll be happy to, yeah, so book a 30-minute meeting with me on my calendar, either for a free like consultation to talk about your business and things, or the free profile audit. Just book on my Calendly, right? Book a 30-minute on Calendly.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
Pardon me, sorry, say again?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Sorry, it's late here and I won't switch on my camera
No
because
problem.
I'm in my bed. Sorry, but
That's fine.
I was asking about the reach down because this is something that I've noticed recently that is happening with all the accounts, and just wanted to know, do you have some new type of content or some new type of doing stuffs in LinkedIn to bring back your reach? Because I've
Oh,
tried.
I see what you mean by reaches
Uh-huh.
down. Yeah, unfortunately, there's
Mhm.
nothing you can do about that at all. All social media platforms, they want you to do one thing. They want you to pay for ads, right? They want to make more money off of you. So,
I knew
but
it.
I've noticed though that my reach has not gone down as far as my bookings on my calendar. You just got to get smarter with things, and by getting smarter, once again, doing things like I told you in the meeting in the presentation here today, don't send dumb spam messages. Send messages that actually tell people that you've been on their profile. Like, let's say I'm on this person's profile over here. Who's this here? Um, CEO. Let's go to anybody's profile over here. So look, this Greg person here. Okay, so looking at number one, going on his Paychecker company website, right? Number two was going over on his posts, right? And um, talking about maybe referencing one of his posts and saying, "Hey, uh, uh, Craig, I read your post on the accountant who marched for equality, right? I love,
Yeah.
love what you said in this part of the post over here. Like, show people that you actually either read their things. Another thing you can do, and good guys say at the very end. So I'm gonna give you one of my best guarded secrets on LinkedIn for getting engagement. Everybody have LinkedIn on their phone as far as LinkedIn app. Go to your app for
Yeah.
a second, open it up on LinkedIn. Go to your messaging section on the app on the top right
Okay.
hand side, and you see your messaging box. Click on any message at all and go to the bottom where it says write a message. Beside write a message on the right hand side, you see a little microphone. It's white. Click onto it, and a little blue dot appears with a microphone icon in the middle. This is called LinkedIn Voice. And this is one of my best kept secrets. If you are messaging people but they're not responding, use this little trick here. Send them a voice message. When they see a voice message on here, which no one uses ever, like trust me, no one uses ever, they'll listen to it. And as long as your message is clear and concise and not spammy, they'll respond to you. So people who have not responded to you, who you want to get on their radar, use LinkedIn Voice, and you can say something like, uh, let's hear, "Hey Craig, I've been messaging you for a while now, and haven't heard a response from you. You're probably super busy. I'd like to buy you a virtual beer or a coffee, just because we're first connections on LinkedIn and we've never talked beforehand. I'm one of those geeks who actually like talking to my first connections, at least once. So I'd be hoping you can see this and let me know if you're interested in talking to me once at least, or if you're not, we'll just disconnect." And people have gotten back to the messages like crazy. So, very, very important that you use that. So there you go. There's your $100 or $1,000 tip for the week. LinkedIn Voice. Cool,
Yeah,
eh?
I heard about that. My point here was, uh, can you suggest some type of strategy? Because we know that DMs are the best way to sell, but you have to nurture your audience before selling. So,
Yeah.
can you suggest
Post
something
post
about the
great post
content?
great content. Post great content that solves a problem for your target audience. So you know the problem when people hire you. You know the problem people have, right? They're telling you in the very beginning, or when you're talking to them in the early discussions, why they want to hire you. You know the problems they have. So do content and write stuff on LinkedIn that'll solve those problems. And then, when you're, let's say, doing a post like this post over here. So look at this one over here for this guy, Craig, right? Um, a comment. So I'll put his name in here by putting the @ sign in there, right?
Mhm.
Craig, right? You know how to do that, right? So
Yeah.
McPhee, right? So I'll tag him on it first. There he is. So I'll tag him on it first, and say something like, that was a great post. Love reading your information. I have a question for you about this, and ask him a question, not a sales question, not a question that'll tell them you're trying to sell them something, but an actual real question. Get the conversation going. The whole idea for LinkedIn lead generation on my side is simply to get engagement from somebody. Once you get engagement, you can keep the conversation rolling, and then you can start talking about their stuff. But don't try to bait and switch too early, right? That'll turn them off. So make sure you're doing things like, "Hey, Craig, I saw your post. It was amazing," or "I really enjoyed, that you wrote it here. Thank you for sharing it. Got a question for you about, accounting, right? About taxes, right?" And then have them answer that question for you, and then get the conversation going from there. But also using that LinkedIn Voice thing, that has been a game changer for me, because I can go in the grocery store, I'll be waiting in line, and I'll go to my LinkedIn app and go to my messaging. I'll send out 10 LinkedIn Voice messages just sitting there in line waiting to go and get checked out, right? So you can do these things when you're at a doctor's office, or just whatever you're doing it, just to get people to engage, and then put a link to a video or something or a post you did, right?
Yeah.
Try to be helpful.
Thank you. I will try with the voice messages.
Yeah, try doing do 100, do 10 a day for 10 days, and see how many people get back to you. And if they're
Okay.
not getting back to you, maybe change the message and make sure the message is not salesy or spammy at all.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, anybody else at all? Awesome. Well, thank you once again. Those guys who fill out the feedback form will get those free gifts. And everybody who stayed today or came today will get the replay and the note taker thing I did. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day and great weekend, right? See you, George.
Thank you.
See you, Cheryl. See you, Brown. See you, Erica.
You
See you,
too.
Kit. See you, Logan. See you, Ansar. See you, Guido. See you, Anthas. Yulia. Sanjeev. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much.